Murphy Gray Hunter, and we are Thursday, October 10th. And so we are Vlogoween day 10. It seems like it's been like longer than that, right? But it's only been 10 days. Let me balance you out here. Okay. Guys, I am feeling better today. I have been under the weather, but today I'm feeling much better. Hopefully by this weekend I'll be back to myself. Okay, so let me show y'all the cup of the day. This is my cup of the day. It says trick or treat. It's my witch's boot. Remember when we went to the grocery store to buy stuff for Derek's birthday party and I showed you these cups? I got this at my local grocery store, H-E-B, for $5. $5. Isn't that cute? And then it's just white in the inside. And I am drinking, I'm like, look, smell it. I'm drinking Perfectly Peach tea. Ooh, hot. It's weird drinking out of a boot. Okay. Today I'm going to show you how to make a powder, like a loose powder. Now, you know, I call my I don't call it incense. I don't call it an herb blend. I just call it a powder because for me, I use my powders to make oils. I use my powders to dress candles. I use my powders to roll in candles. I use my powders in mojo bags. So, and I also use my powders on top of a charcoal disc, and I just pour some on there as well. So I call mine a powder because I use it for different things. Everybody makes their stuff however they want, but this is how I do it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a powder that you could use if you have someone who is spreading malicious lies about you, gossiping, and just harming you, because gossip, like malicious gossip, is a form of harassment. It is a form of bullying, and so you definitely want to protect yourself from that, and you definitely want to halt that person or people who are maliciously spreading rumors about you or lies or whatever it is, even if it's truth. Again, you know, like it's harassment. No matter what you think, it's harassment, and it's just downright cruel and vicious. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a powder that you could use to help protect yourself from malicious gossip. And this isn't harming the other person, it's just stopping it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be using is some chia seeds. Chia seeds are good to stop gossip. And they're also great in my smoothies. Slippery elm. Slippery elm is good also to stop gossip. And then alum. Alum is good for protection. It's good for luck, and it also it's good for gossip. What it does, it puckers the person's mouth up from talking about you. And then whole cloves. Cloves are good for money, gossip, love, and protection. And then I'm going to use salt, because salt is good for protection. Salt is good for so many things, but in this case, we're going to use it for protection. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. On the cup, I spent $5 on the cup, in case you're wondering. At my local H-E-B, spent $5 on it. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I told you that. Okay. I'm going to be using my marble mortar and pestle because I want to be able to crush that alum. And then I'm going to be putting my powder in this beautiful blue bottle. Put it in the sun. Put it in the sun. You can look at it. It's so beautiful. I love this color. So I'm going to use it to put my powder in. Okay. So I have some other stuff, but I'm going to just show y'all how I'm making this, and then we're going to go to a second part because we're going to turn this into an oil. Now, and I'm going to give you some examples on how you can use this. Now, I call my mixtures powders. You can call it an herb blend, you can call it an incense, but for me, I call it a powder because I use it in different ways. My powders, I use them to either dress a candle, I use it to put in mojo bags, I use it to put, like, if I need to sprinkle in corners of the room. I use it to place on charcoal disc to burn, or I can use it, excuse me, to make an oil. So that's how I use mine. You can use it however you want. You can call it whatever you want, but that's just what I do. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera down so that way you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, guys, let's fix this. There we go. All right. Some of you guys have asked me about this. This is just my evil eye. You guys know how much I love to wear my evil eye. I wear my evil eye and I enchant it for protection. I charge it. I wear this all the time. This is just a piece of baker string, and I constantly cut this off and redo it when the string is starting to look like it's seen better days, like this one. I shower with it, I sleep with it. And then this is my stylus. Because I have these hooker nails, it's hard for me to type on the phone. So I use this to do my typing. So that's why I always have it like this. Someone was asking about, what is that? Okay, let's go ahead and put in the things that we're going to crush up first, which is going to be the alum. Now, you don't need a big piece of alum. You can find these alum chunks. I found mine at the Latin meat markets. And you don't need very much, but I'm gonna make enough in case I have a client who wants me to do some work for them. I have some. So let me go ahead and break this up, and it breaks up so easy. Alum, like I said, I bought it where the Mexican meat markets, the Latin meat markets are, and where the herbs are. I'm not sure how you can use this culinary, or if you can. I don't know if you use it like to pickle something. I honestly don't know that. I didn't do the research for that since I don't eat this. I know that this could be toxic. I know you can use it as a natural deodorant. But guys, we're in Texas. Can I have a boulder? Give me a boulder so I can rub that boulder under my pit. Because, honey, that little piece of alum is not going to do it for me. So, yeah, but people use this, you can, as a natural deodorant. Because a lot of people don't like the ingredients that are in manufactured deodorants. And I'm all for that too. I like to use Tom's, but I feel like it's not enough. Like, because guys, I mean, y'all know I've been sweating like a farm animal. So it's hot here. I can't take the heat. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm going to need to have some extra strength stuff. But you get the aluminum, you rub it under your arms. And I just know, I read about it, that you don't use a lot of it because it is toxic and can go into your bloodstream. But I guess it would have to be large quantities, you know. There we go. And there's a little bit of dragon's blood resin in the bottom of this. And that's perfectly fine because you guys know dragon's blood resin is really good for protection. And dragon's blood resin also packs a punch. It's like a power boost to any of your spell work. So it's quite all right that that's in there. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in my chia seeds. Oh, I love me some chia seeds. They're good in my smoothies. I'm going to put 2 heaping spoons. I'm going to do 3 because I'm making enough. And then I'm going to use my cloves because I'm going to crush these things up. Now, if you don't want it crushed or you want it chunky, you can definitely leave it chunky. It's up to you. It's your preference. And again, you can put your intent as you're doing each ingredient. But in this case, like I said, and for me, I do it all at the end because since I make my oils and my powders specifically for one particular thing, I do it afterwards. So like if I was doing something that was going to be universal for several different things that I could use it for, I would enchant after each one, letting my intentions go into the mixture of whatever ingredient I'm using. Like, because cloves can be used for money, gossip, love, and protection, it has different properties in it, so you could use it for different things. So I don't want to use this for money. I want to use this to help stop gossip. So if I was doing a universal spell, you know, like a powder to use for different things, I would enchant it for, I just want it for this. In this case, since it's all going to be for gossip, all these ingredients I'm using are for malicious gossip, it's all for the same thing. I will enchant the whole thing just for that. I hope that makes sense, because it makes sense in my brain, but it doesn't always come out right. We're going to use some slippery elm. Slippery elm has this, like, I don't know what, if you smell slippery elm, you know what I'm talking about. How's this kind of weird smell? Not bad, just weird. Okay, so let me mix that up. Let me go ahead and put some salt in there. All right. All right, so I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'm going to put my tint into this, and I'll come right back. So here is your powder. It smells good. It has like a, I don't know, like it's sweet. You can smell sweet from the clover, but I'm telling you, the slippery elm has this strange smell. I can't even compare it to something else, because I don't know. It's kind of like benzoin. You know, a lot of people like the smell of benzoin. I know a lot of the nurses I worked with love the way it smells, because we use it to do skin preps before surgery. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to give you all some tips. Okay, guys. All right. I always say I'm going to do this on top of a paper plate, and I never do. All right, so I'm going to take this mixture, and I'm going to put it into my bottle, but I just want to show y'all a few things that you could do with this powder. Now, let's just say, put the powder over here. Let me put my tea over here. Okay. Now, you could take candles like these, or let's just say I have a white candle. You could take a white candle on here, and if you have, like, say, a 7-knob candle, have you seen the 7 knobs? They're just like 1, 2, they have like 7 little knobs all together. And on a 7-knob candle, you can write 7 different things that you want. But in this case, if you're doing a 7-knob candle and it was to stop gossip, you would write on there the person's name or the company or whatever it is to stop gossip on each individual knob. And for 7 days, you burn each knob, right? So if you were going to do a 7-knob candle, you could dress this in some oil. Now, you could use a protection oil. You could use an oil that you can create from doing the, like making a gossip, like stop gossip oil. And you can rub your whole candle in it, and you can roll this whole mixture. Just put it on a plate and roll the whole mixture in it. Or you can just, you know, put it over, rub the oil, and then just put the stuff on there. You could do that. And if you just had this, just one candle like this, you can write the person's name or the company or people, whatever it is, and what you want, and you can put it on, write it on the candle, as well as a petition paper, and dress it and roll the whole thing and burn the whole thing at one time. If you don't have a 7-knot candle and you want to do one candle for 7 days, you can get like votive candles like this and do the same thing. you know, dress it, roll it in powder, you know, make sure the names and all they're on there, and burn 1 candle every single day. If you don't have a votive candle, you can do tea light candles. It doesn't have to be a big candle like this. It doesn't have to be a 7 knob candle. It's just that if you have a 7 knob, you can burn 1 knob at a time, or at a day. 1 knob a day, or burn 1 votive or 1 tea light candle a day, or you can go with a candle like this and burn the whole thing, or a glass candle and burn the whole thing. It's really up to you on how you want to do it. You can also use the powder and put into mojo bags. I don't have a yellow one, so if I was going to use a mojo bag to stop gossip, I would definitely to carry around with me, like especially if you're around, you have gossip at work and you're trying to, you know, stop that. I would use a mojo bag. I would use a yellow one, or you could use just a regular Muslim bag or a white bag. If green is all you have, use it. If you don't have one, you can make one. Just use a piece of material, whatever you have to do. Anyway, so I would put the person's name or the people or the company, business cards, whatever it is, whoever it is that is talking about you, put it in there along with some of the powder that you have. And you can put a drop or 2 of oil in there if you want. Close that up, and then you can wear this with you when you're at work. And I mean wear it with you, put it in your pocket or whatever it is you have to do, put in your sock, whatever. So you don't want to make it too bulky. You know, and it doesn't have to be this big. But if I was going to pick a color, I would use yellow. But if all I had was green, green is going to do it. You can also take the powder and you can place it into 4 corners of your workspace. Say you have a cubicle, you can put it in 4 corners of your cubicle, or if you work in like one big office, before anybody gets there, you can sprinkle some in each 4 corners. You can definitely do that. You can definitely put some in a little dish and put it on your desk. You know, like, you know, some people have potpourri and stuff. You definitely can put it in a little dish and put it on the bottom, and then put some loose potpourri on the top to disguise it. What else can you do? Dress candles. You can definitely, like I said, put in mojo bags. You can sprinkle it around at work. Also, I was gonna give you this tip. When you are writing stuff on your candles, I bought this pen. This came with a little packet that had like for addresses and stuff. And the pen stopped working a long time ago. And it's just a metal pen. So you can see how the tip is burned. I put this in the candle, in the flame, and I get it hot, and then I just use it to write on my candles. Yes, you can use a pencil, you can use a nail, you can use whatever, you can. But the reason why I use this is because it gets really hot and it goes in pretty deep, you know, when I'm writing in there, because it's hot. It just melts through this so smoothly like butter. And so when I am dressing the candle, I'm making sure that I'm putting the oil on there. And when I roll it in there, the herbs or whatever I'm rolling it in gets in there, and you can clearly, so when you stand your candle up and some of the herbs fall, all of the herbs and stuff are inside your symbols, your sigils, your names, date of birth, all of that. It stays in there. So if you dress your candle in oils, that's, not in oils, in glitter, that's another way you can do it. You know, make it nice and deep, and then you dress it with your oil, and then roll it in glitter, and it will definitely stay. So if you have like a metal pen like this, or anything that you can find that has a point to it that's metal, you probably could do a nail like that too. You know, just make sure you buy a big long nail. You know, at Home Depot, they sell those big long nails, and use that so you can write. That's just a little tip since I have this. You definitely can, you know, use it however you want. If you don't have any types of oil and you can use palm oil. I'm not a fan of palm oil. I bought this some time ago at the local Botanica. You guys know I don't really like to use this stuff because of how this stuff is extracted. It kills so many homes for animals, but I bought this a long time ago and it's still good. I mean, this stuff lasts forever, and you can use this to dress your candles as well. Palm oil is really good to use in spell work. You know, that's why a lot of my my vegan people who know that I'm a vegan and they know that I'm a witch and they watch my videos and they're just like, well, you're not really a vegan because you're using products that aren't vegan. I never use animal products. Like I never, use blood or anything like that. I may use hair or something that has died outside. I've never killed anything like that for spell work. Anyway, so, but whatever, to each their own, right? Okay, now, let's go ahead and, well, let me give you a couple of more tips before we do this other thing. Like I said, if you don't have all of these ingredients, say all you have is chia seeds. You can do, chia seeds are good to stop gossip. So you could take a white candle like this, or you could get a 7 knob candle, or 7 small votive candles, or 7 little white tea light candles, or birthday candles. You guys get the you know what I'm saying. And you can dress this with whatever oil you want. Protection oil, gossip oil, just regular oil, palm oil, whatever you want. Dress your candle, and then you can roll your candle in just chia seeds, just the seeds by themselves, just that. That'll help to stop gossip. If that's all you have in your kitchen, you can use that. Slippery elm. Let me show y'all. See, it looks like that, right? Slippery elm is, like I said, it's really good to stop gossip. You can burn these ashes, and you can use it like this, and you can burn these ashes, like burn it down to an ash, right? It's so powdery. Just put this in a fireproof dish and just burn it down to an ash. Then once that ash is nice and cool, you can take that ash. It's just weird, right? It reminds me of kinetic sand. Anyway, you can take that, you can take the ashes, and you can use the ashes to sprinkle again in the 4 corners of your workspace or wherever it is that the gossip is happening. You can use the ashes in mojo bags. You can use the ashes definitely in, like I said, mojo bags. You can use it to put on candles. You can use it to right on the bottom of your shoe before you go to work. Take the ashes and make a cross under each one, and that also helps to stop, to help protect you against malicious gossip. If you don't want to use it like this, because like this, it's going to be kind of hard to, to use it. See, it doesn't really, but if you burn it into an ash, you definitely can. Okay, it smells weird. It really does. I keep saying this. Alum. I got an itch. Alum kind of looks like raw quartz, right? Alum is good for protection, luck, and you can also use this to help pucker somebody's mouth to make them stop gossiping about you. So as you can see, you can crush this up, and it crushes up really, really easy. You can crush this up and use this as a powder to place into, it's a mineral. So this won't burn like, it's like a mineral like salt. It won't burn like loose incense, but you can definitely use this to put in mojo bags. You can use this to sprinkle around. You can use this to make an oil. But mostly for me, if I just had a chunk of this and I wanted to use it, you can make a doll baby. You can make a doll baby out of mud. You can make a doll baby out of clay. You can make a doll baby out of fabric. I've even used a potato, and what I did is I carved out the potato, peeled it all, and then I carved it into a little person, and then I dug out a big hole, and then I put it a piece of aluminum, and I shoved it way in there, and then I took the pieces that I carved out and covered it back up. Now you can make a doll baby, and you can cut the mouth open, and you can shove this right in the mouth and then sew it back up, or you can use wax from, say, a yellow candle to cut it. If you don't have a yellow candle, you can just use, I say yellow because yellow is a color that's recognized to help stop slander and gossip. But if you all you have is a white, you can use a white wax on that as well. The reason why I like to use clay, mud, or using, you know, dough, anything that you can mold with your hands, it's easier to deal with when you're dealing with something like this. So like for me, like I said, I would get a potato if that's all I had and just carve that up. And it just has to look like a person. Give it a head and 2 arms and 2 legs and dig out the mouth and put that in there. And then you can just carve in the person's name or write the person's name on a little tag and tie it around with some string. And you can put that, you can put the potato into a little box, and you can, you know, pour some other stuff on top of it if you want, or you could just wrap it up in a black bag and you can go bury it somewhere outside, or you could just keep it in a dark place. But for me, I would definitely bury it. I buried it outside. I have a little spot in my yard where I bury stuff, and I would just bury it there because it's, you know, it's going to go rotten, and so you might as well just give it back to the earth. So that's what I do with mine. All right. Now, these whole cloves. Cloves are good for money. They're good for gossip, love, and protection. They smell so good. All right, so if you are trying to stop gossip, you can get a red candle like this. You can get a red candle like this, a 7 knob, whatever type of red candle, but make sure it's one that you can write on. You want to write the person's name on there or the people, as much information as you can and what you want done. And you want to stop the gossip. And you can go ahead and dress this with oil, and you can just either roll this in it, and if you're gonna roll it, I would definitely crush it. Or, I don't know if I can do it. I can't do it, this is too hard. I would take something like this, and I would definitely stick the cloves all over it. Now, this is a lot harder than it seems. I don't wanna mess up my candle. This one was a gift. So if you can stick the cloves in there, or in my case, I would just crush the cloves, because you can crush them really easy and roll your candle in it. Or if you have something like this, roll it on top, and you can put some on the top. If you're doing a tea light candle, you can definitely put some right on top of the tea light candle. This would help to stop gossip. Those are just a few ideas. I mean, you guys know, you get what I'm saying. There's so much more that you could do with this. You use your creative mind. Okay, so now I'm going to make an oil using the same ingredients. So a long time ago, I bought these oils from a store. I think I bought them from Fiesta store, and I don't buy these anymore because I think that they're a waste of money. I've told y'all before, I don't think that there's any power in these oils whatsoever. They're manufactured, and the only thing that's different in these is that this one's green and this one's yellow. And if you're looking at the ingredients, there's nothing in here. It tells you the color of dye, you know, what number it is, but there's nothing in here. There's no, other than the dye and the oil, there's no properties of any herbs in here to do what you want it to do. This one is to keep away enemies, and this one is protection from envy. So how do you know? There's no herbs in here. So I don't buy these anymore, but I do have a lot of them. If you can see right here in this little case on the top, I have a lot of these. But what I do to these is instead of throwing them away, I use this oil because it's perfectly fine oil, and the dye is not going to harm anything at all. So I put my own herbs in here, and I make it to be what it is that I want. So this one, it says here to protect from envy and to keep away enemies. So either one of these would be good. And you could just definitely open it up, and it's got a pretty good sized mouth on there. And you just want to put some of that powder in there. I'll show you in a second. And what you're doing is you're giving this, you're giving it some of, you know, your ingredients that it needs to do So you get the idea. See how it has loose stuff in there? You definitely can put more. When I get off camera, I'm definitely going to be putting more in here. I'll put in some more chunks in there because it definitely needs more in there. So you can use these oils and just, you know, if you don't want to throw them away, but please do not buy these oils. These oils have no magical properties in them whatsoever by themselves. If you want to buy them, because if you buy this, I think these were $1.29. If you want to buy this because it already has an oil in it and it has a particular dye in it, you know, like say you're going to use this for money or whatever, and it was green, it smells, they all smell the same, and it already has a little container. So for $1.29, you're getting oil, you're getting a container, and you can just either peel this off and put your label on top of it and just add to it. So if this one it says protect from enemies, then you definitely want to put more things in here for protection, and it won't cost you that much. Otherwise you have to buy, you know, a little container, you know, and then you have to buy the oil. And then I'm just saying, if you already have them or you're on a budget, definitely spruce these up. Don't buy this and just think that this alone is going to do, this is, oh, protect from an enemy, and just put on a candle. That's not, it's not going to work that way. It won't work that way. I'm telling you. I'm sure somebody's going to come and tell me you're wrong. They work great. But for me, just in my experience, I will never come on here and read from a book and say, you can do this spell and then you can do this spell. I will never do that unless I have, you know, did the spell myself and make sure that it's doing what it says it's going to do. I just won't read something to you and say, do this spell. Now, if I do, I will tell you, I've never done this before, so I don't know if it's going to work. So I always try to give you things that I have experienced myself. And using these oils by themselves, which I have, gave me no results. Me personally, just me. I know a lot of people use these, and I'm not saying anything bad about that. I'm just saying in my opinion only. I do not use these just by themselves. I have some like that say just cinnamon, and I put pieces of cinnamon in there. And of course you want to enchant these. And anything that I make, I put on my altar with my Santa Muerte, and I ask her to help me bless these. If you don't have a higher power, you can do this yourself. Put in all of your energy and your intent. You have to have faith that it works. Just like in any religion, when people wear a crucifix, they wear it because they have faith. They wear it because they feel that crucifix is going to protect them. They wear it as an amulet. This is going to protect me. It's going to keep me safe, because they put faith into it. Not because it's made out of some special, you know, metal, or made out of a special, you know, gold or silver. That's not what makes it, that's not what gives it power. What gives it power is what you feed it, and it's your faith, it's your intention. So that goes into everything that you do. Just like my little amulet here. You buy it, just by itself is not going to just protect me. You have to like activate this, you know, and will it. And you have to have faith in it, and you have to believe that it works. So a lot of that is what makes your magic work, is the faith, the intention. You know, you're putting that energy into it. All right, so now I am going to make a little oil out of the powder that I just made. So since I don't need a lot, I make oils like this, in this small. Now remember, I made this oil, this is my Samhain oil. It's a lot of oil. Look how beautiful that looks. Remember I made this the other day, my Samhain oil? Look how pretty. It's so pretty. And it's been sitting here infusing. It smells so good. And but this is a lot of oil. This is a lot of oil. And so I'm gonna make sure that I use a lot of it during this month that I'm burning stuff for Samhain. And you know, and when I made my Samhain powder, I made it right in here in this little, you know, little pill thing. This smells good too. And so I only make enough, you know, to last me. for what I need. So sometimes I make them just like this because I use it, and when it's done, I have the powder. The powder will last a long time. I just make more. Or in this case, I go and use what I have left over in these. So I would never make this much powder, I mean this much oil to stop gossip. I don't do that type of work. If somebody's gonna talk bad about me, let them get it all out of their system. I mean, because I'm real strong about who I am, and you know, and if someone wants to talk bad about me, then just get it all out. Let yourself feel better. Get it all out. Say everything you want to say about me and get it out, and then we're done. I don't have to do anything to anyone to stop them from talking about me. But then again, I don't work in a place, like I work from home. So if I was in a workplace and people were always constantly gossip about me, it makes your environment, you know, hard to be in. It makes it hard for you to be at work. It makes your life miserable. And some people are more sensitive, and I'm not. I have pretty thick skin. It takes an awful lot to bother me like that. So I get disappointed in people, yes, but them talking and running their mouth about me, it doesn't bother me. They're not the first and definitely won't be the last. So if it's weird drinking out of that boot cup. So I would never make that much because I wouldn't use it. But this is enough. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of and all I'm doing is just doing this. Okay, I'm pouring. I know y'all can't see, but I'm just going to pour some in here. And you don't need a lot because you have to remember your ingredients are very strong. They go a long way. And I'm just going to use some grapeseed oil. That's my choice for the day. Now I keep my culinary oils and culinary herbs separate. So, because if you notice, I use my spoons and my things in, you know, different things. Like, you know, I don't use this to eat or cook food. That's what I'm saying. Keep them separate. So I just put some oil in there. And then you got yourself some Stop Gossip oil. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to put a bunch of ingredients in there because you want to make sure that it's going to be able to move around in there. Then you put a little more oil, and then I'm going to show you. I love it when you guys come on and y'all tell me that y'all have made one of my oils or my powders. I love it. I absolutely love it. See? Oh gosh, I'm gonna go get my nails done on Saturday. I'm gonna get some Halloween stuff done. I know they're getting long. All right, so that is my oil. So when I am doing if I was going to do something, a candle to stop, you know, rumors or malicious gossip on me, I would dress my candle in the oil that I made. So instead of me having to go buy a protection oil or having to make, you know, go and get one of these, you know, special oils or pay a lot of money to make an oil, you could make your own oil. If all you had is chia seeds, you could put chia seeds in here. If all you have is just crushed alum, use your ingredients and use your creativity to make your oil. Your intention, your faith is your power that's going to fuel these. So I will dress my candle in this, and then I will put the powder on top. All right, guys, that was super simple, right? Again, making oils and making powders are really, it really is your, it really is up to you, you know, like on what you put into it, how much you put into it. And if you want to change one of these ingredients that I have in here, say you don't have any slippery elm and all you have is just a few things, or you have something else that you want to use, you definitely can be versatile on whatever you want to put in there. And that's a good thing about, that's the really good thing about knowing your ingredients. If you know your ingredients, and you know what's behind them or what you can use them for, you can be so super creative on how you're making them. I'm making a funnel, in case you're wondering what I'm doing. I love having nails, but let me tell you, having nails is really hard to do certain things, especially when they start getting a certain length. I love having nails, but there's nothing like feeling your nails when they're really short and you can get into crevices and clean. See how I made that just out of a piece of paper? And so I just shove that in there. It goes all in there. And just like that, you're filling it up. So you don't have to sit here and watch me fill this up. But I'll definitely want to take a picture of it and post it for the thumbnail. All right, guys. I hope y'all like this video. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. As always, love you all and blessed be. Bye.